What's going on, everybody? Starting up stream a little bit early. Oh, we'll get going here in a couple of minutes. Let me do quick retweets. What's going on, everybody? Thought I'd start the show teensy bit early. If anyone has any questions or anything that we can hit on before we officially start the show. What's up? What's up? Let's see. Any quick questions I can answer? Feel free to throw them in. Obviously, I'm going to talk about the Dodgers stuff and how there's a pitching change and how I don't care, how I do not care, how it's going to hit regardless. Question: how many runs are the Padres winning by today? The Padres versus Rockies game definitely has a little bit of air to it, right? We got Ben dropping Capwise Ben dropping James Shields stats versus the Rockies and how that's going to affect today's ball game. We'll see, right? We'll definitely see. Do you like the Orioles minus 1.5 or is it too corp? No, there's no shot I'm taking Orioles minus 1.5, especially at home with everyone and their mother on the Orioles. I mean, it could hit, but how you feel about the Brewers line? Haven't looked much into the Brewers. Who are they playing today? How does James Shields starts affect the Rockies? That's the exact analysis that I was getting towards. Literally. Let's see that Brewers line. What is the Brewers line? Where are you, Brewers? Brewers. Yeah, they're minus 250 against the A's. I mean, let's be real here. Let's be real. Favorite strikeout prop today? I don't really have a favorite strikeout prop. I'm just thinking about stacking the I'm thinking about stacking some Padres hitters today, whether that be Ha-Seong Kim, whether that be Trent Grisham, whether that be Brandon Dixon. You could take the Manny Machado over 17.5 hits, runs, and RBIs that he's got today. But I like the smaller guys today. How confident are we in Oral? I see the money line pick. The Friday guy for Oregon is out, which I think is big. Because I think without Oregon's Friday guy, who is very solid, I think without them, it's more closer to a pick 'em. And the fact that we're getting an underdog and Oral Roberts has just been so hot. They have been a wagon for us in the College World Series, and they've played even beyond my expectations. So I have no reason to believe that they'll lose. Like, right, if Oregon was throwing their Friday guy, that's why I was waiting for it. Got the news, bet Oral Roberts. Like, that makes the line much closer to a pick 'em in my eyes. The fact that we got plus 120 is just icing on the cake. So, three favorite pitchers. Let's see. My three favorite pitchers just in general. Not counting the Yankees. My three favorite pitchers, DeGrom, of course. My three favorite pitchers, Cal, obviously. He'd be number one, DeGrom number two. Who's my favorite to watch? I think Framber. I mean, I know I faded him yesterday, but I love Framber. I do love Framber. But I think it might be time to start the show soon. No, I mean, like, guys, if we're just going to take the team that's facing the A's on the run line, like, we're not going to make money long term. I know. I don't know if you guys heard what Gino was saying when he came in, and he's been making a ton of money off the A's. The Brewers are wildly overvalued in the spot. Wildly. I'm not saying take the A's, but I'm definitely not saying lay the run line with the Brewers at home. The A's are a Major League Baseball team. Like, they are, right? I mean, I'm looking at it now. Yeah, I mean, the model, again, has it closer to a minus 124. It's not like Adrian Hauser is any good, right? We're looking at Luis Medina, and we're looking at his ERA and we're saying that he's that much worse than Hauser, no shot about it. No, I would definitely not bet the Brewers on the run line today. It might hit, but like you do that long term and you are going to be drinking your own urine. Why is the Braves line so juiced? It's a good question. Why is the Braves line so juiced against the Nationals? Because Josiah Gray is about to get his shit kicked in. That's why. AJ Smith shower. AJ, I always get it wrong. AJ Smith Shaver. Yeah, AJ Smith Shaver. He's a good rookie. He's one of these guys that the Braves have accelerated through the minors. I think he started the year in high A. I don't know how well the Nationals are going to do against him. And I think the Braves will pummel Josiah Gray today. All the squares are on Brewers -1.5 today. It's free money. Yeah, I mean, like, you know, I think that's the easiest bet on the board. And when you have the easiest, I don't need like how are you going to take Adrian Hauser -250 against anyone in baseball? I know it's the A's, but like, let's be real here. Let's be real here. You know what I'm saying? We'll get it going soon in a couple of minutes. Waiting for some more people to come in. Do you like the over in Rangers Rays? Nah, not. I mean, you got a Rays game at home with that offense against Heaney. Definitely don't mind it. I know on the model right now, it likes it around 8.5, so you can find an 8. It's a very key number. I would consider that over, but anything at 8.5, probably you're not seeing much value there. I think this could be like a 5-4 game, or it could be a little bit lower than that. I think it'll be around that total. So not a big fan of that. Any underdogs you like today before you start, Pete? The model loves the Marlins today. I do not. What is a underdog that I considered today? The Reds seem a little bit too easy. There's no real underdogs in Major League Baseball that I really like today. If you're looking for an underdog, I kind of like the Rangers. I could see them winning, just outslugging the Rays there, but I like my 3 favorite better. So that was something I considered, didn't end up placing it, but I like the Rangers. I would lean that way. Who has the best pitching rotation in the league? Brewers? Definitely not the Brewers. They have no Brandon Woodruff. The best pitching rotation in Major League Baseball right now. Ooh, that's a hard one. God, everyone sucks right now. Who has the best pitching rotation in Major League Baseball? Mariners. Castillo, Kirby, Gilbert, Miller. It's best right now, I would say. Yeah. Why don't you like the Fish? Cease Masterclass just feels too easy. Feels a little bit too easy. I don't mind them. Like, I'm not betting on the White Sox, obviously, because they're the White Sox and they could blow it, but I don't know. Feels like you could see a good Cease game. I'm not saying I don't like the Marlins. Like, I would bet the Marlins over the White Sox. Like, if you put a gun in my head and said you have to make a bet on that game, I would probably go Marlins. Just something about it gives me the heebie-jeebies. Twins have Sonny G, Joe Ryan, Louis Varland, and more. Yeah, but Louis Varland hasn't been that good. And then Bailey Ober's been pretty. Yeah, the Twins would be up there. I got Marlins first 5+1/2. I like that bet. I don't mind that. Could be relatively low scoring. Yuri Perez has been a stud. I love that man. So we'll get started here in a second. I feel like the Mets just burned. What do you guys think? Should we do a community entry today? Community prize picks entry? I am liking a lot of Padres bats. I know Javon's going to come on, give his props. Other people have some entries on prize picks. But I only want to do it if we have some bangs. That's all I want. All I want is some bangs, and then we'll get after it if you guys want it. But I'm hearing no bangs. So you like Florida today for college baseball? No, I like ORU. Bangs, hell yeah, bangs. Okay, yeah, we'll do a little Prize Picks entry. We'll do a little community entry. I like that. I'm getting some energy here. I'm feeling good about today. Is anyone feeling good about today? I'm about to get into a very fun intro because yesterday's pick was very fun. Yesterday's pick was very, very entertaining. I don't know if you guys have been noticing. I'm on a pretty good run. Things could end, obviously. And also, for the season-long entry, we're hoping that Jordan comes back healthy. Rooting for Jordan to come back healthy. Right oblique injury. Hope he comes back healthy. Producer Cohen, I think it's time to start, ladies and gentlemen.
Ready? And go.
Hello and welcome to Not Gambling Advice, the baseball betting stream on the Just Baseball Network. It is Friday, June 9th, and I'm here to deliver you some more MLB winners. It is almost the weekend. We've been on a very good run here on the show. Producer Cohen, if you can flash a leaderboard for the people, we're getting more and more green every single day, right? We got some couple guys at the bottom who are definitely going to bounce back, but Ben, Ollie, Anthony, Nick, they're all hanging around 500. Jake, Tomas, DeGen have been steadily feeding winners. Gino has been on an absolute heater, and Javon is, of course, pulling his weight, doing classic Javon things by just winning. And your boy is at the very top, which is good. But again, I always harp on this. Things can change. But of course, if you want to tail the plays, if you want to track them in any case that you miss them, they, of course, will be on the Pikkit Sports app. Use code Peter when you sync your sports book, and you'll receive anywhere from $3 to $100. There's no reason not to have the Pikkit Sports app. Like, I know they're a partner of ours, of course, right? We want to get full transparency purposes. We want to get as many signups as possible, but it makes you a better sports bettor. They have splits on there. You know the Pikkit community. I don't know how many of them are winning. So it's good to see where everybody's at. It's also good to sync your sportsbook. You want to track how well you're doing on plays, seeing which teams you're not so good on, teams you're great on. And then, of course, all of my plays are there too, and all the rest of the cappers. So you can always track plays and just make yourself a better sports bettor. So make sure to download the Pikkit Sports app. And as we know, all Prize Picks entries on Prize Picks, use code JustBaseball when you download. And then, of course, BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks, code JustBaseball on there. Up to $1,000 back in bonus bets, depending on what you deposit. Producer Cohen, can we flash the recap of yesterday? Pretty please, for the people. What about it? Houston, Toronto, first 5 over. A gift from the Lord above. Brandon Belt, Alejandro Kirk, absolute legacy cash to continue the heater. We are now up about 14 units on the MLB season just on stream, little under 20 units on the MLB season so far. We're starting to kick it in gear, ladies and gentlemen. We're starting to do it. Can't knock over Mookie. I'm very excited for today's plays. We got 3 of them, and we're going to do the Prize Picks community. Of course, we have the Ballpark Pal model where we'll give you all the picks based on math. We'll do some home run stuff. Then we have, how many picks we got, Producer Cohen, on stream today? 22 picks. This is going to be a great stream. But Producer Cohen, would you like to answer for your pick yesterday? Can you give the people just a little insight into the legacy Producer Cohen pick? Because
all I want to say is that this stream is no freaking joke. You can't just come on here like, oh, I want to give my Mets under. Like, nah, it's not how it fucking works, right? Kids come on the show with real ass like picks. You don't come on here with bullshit. Is all I'm gonna say. Not only did it not hit, it really didn't hit. Like 23 runs is ridiculous. It would have been actually way cooler if I just picked the over, but. Right? Cool,
I know, but it
over smack like that.
But like it seemed kind of sharp.
But the under got smacked, which is just as cool. So
Producer Cohen texted me last night, and he's like, "Mets under." Sure, I checked the box score because I didn't even know the game had started. It was
Also,
in the second.
what did I texted you after the game when we lost? I said, I'm actually not a Mets fan anymore. Dead ass might have just been the end of it. Let's go, Yanks.
Let's go, Yanks. And then the Yankees drop one to the Lance Lynn-led White Sox.
That was good.
PUR068, shout out for the sub. Remember, if I win this entire competition, I'm giving away my World Series tickets to a subscriber of this Twitch channel. Let's say I finish second, $500 cash prize. It's becoming better and better, ladies and gentlemen. Best way to support is definitely to subscribe to our Twitch channel. But even if you don't want to spend a dime, no worries at all, because I'm about to make you a couple dimes today. Let's talk. All right. Where should we start today? You know what? I want to start with the pick that nobody's talking about. Everyone's talking about the Doyers. Everyone's talking about the Padres, but ain't nobody talking about this sneaky under that's moved down half a run. Let's go to Arizona versus Detroit at 7:05 p.m. Eastern. The pitching matchup is Merrill Kelly versus Michael Lorenzen. Right? Remember when I came on yesterday? And well, ultimately it got postponed due to the air quality. But this is a similar bet to yesterday, but it's a better matchup. But Michael Lorenzen is about the same as Josiah Gray. I think you could argue that he's better, and the Tigers' bullpen is better. The Nationals' offense is also better than the Tigers. Had to play this under, ladies and gentlemen. This Tigers' offense is really starting to fall back down to earth against right-handed pitching. They got off to a hot start against righties, which kind of confused me with this lineup, to be honest with you. It's plenty of right-handed bats or lefties with reverse splits, but this same lineup had a clear better split against lefties last year and always struggled against righties, and those numbers are starting to normalize, right? On the past couple of streams, I've given you picks based on guys expecting to normalize, right? Expecting Framber, expecting Barrios, expecting Morton, all these different guys to come back down to earth a little bit. That's what we're seeing right now with the Tigers. When we look at the last 2 weeks, the WRC plus is at 61. That's 39% below league average. When we look at the past month, 72. So, right, it's just getting worse and worse and worse. The only thing the Tigers do well against righties is take their free passes. And I would like their offense slightly if Merrill Kelly had command issues. Kelly did have trouble with the walks early on, but he's been much better in May. He's typically hovering in the 7% walk range, which should normalize soon, right? He's around 10% now. He's a command first guy who should have success against this Tigers team that's now traveling back from Philadelphia. It's not much of a travel day. I'm really not putting that much stock into it, but right, it's about stacking small edges on top of each other. Michael Lorenzen has been the definition of solid. He's rocking a 3.21 ERA and a 3.96 expected, and has cut his walk rate in half from the previous 2 seasons. He's throwing harder than he ever has, and he just has confidence in his stuff. I think he's been gross. The Diamondbacks have had a great offense against righties this season, but they're slowing down. They sit with the 7th best WRC plus against righties at 106 this season, but dropped to 17th over the past 2 weeks at 95. Still solid, and I have no doubt that they're going to score today. Of course, teams got to score runs, but I just don't think it'll be enough. Right? This Diamondbacks game got postponed yesterday, so now they even have the not bullpen advantage over the Tigers because the Tigers have a great bullpen, but they have their full complement of, rested bullpen arms in this one. The Tigers bullpen, this is the issue here, not really well rested, but they have the 4 best arms in their bullpen, all have the most rest. So we're probably going to see all of them today, which is normally a good sign for us. And Comerica Park is calling for wind blowing in, which will affect the power output in this game. Ballpark Power calls for a 27% decrease in home runs. So just leaving the yard in Comerica is going to be really hard today. Both teams must stack base hits in order to score, which is just plainly difficult against these 2 pitchers. Tigers are on the decline, as are the Arizona bats. I'm taking the under all the way to 8.5. 8 at minus 105. Now it's minus 110. I like this under a lot, ladies and gentlemen. So now that it's on minus 110, I would just lower the unit size a little bit, right? Because you're losing value by the second. But depending on what you can get it at, if you can still find 8.5 at minus 120, definitely worth a play. If you can find 8 at minus 105 plus 100, definitely worth a play. It's getting up there a little bit. We just lower the unit size slightly, but still definitely worth a play because I don't think it goes over 8. Potentially it could push, but I have this going. I have this capped, and the model does too at 7.5. So I'm seeing value all the way down there, right? The model has it at 7.5, minus 101 for that to go over 7.5. So it really has it closer to about 7.3. At 8, you're still seeing plenty of value there. Let's move to our second play of the day, which is the San Diego Padres versus the Colorado Rockies, which I will discuss with our guy Ben, and the other half of Capwise Nick is on the side that I'm on, so we will see what happens. The pitching matchup is Yu Darvish versus Austin Gomber. I'm going to make this one simple, ladies and gentlemen. Do we have the model by chance for the Padres? Okay. Producer Cohen will get the model for the Padres. I have not seen the model give a team a run projection above 7 this season. Full stop. You see me jump all over overs and money lines whenever the model has a team in the mid 6s. 7 is unheard of. If we remember, the Cardinals played the Diamondbacks last season, and I gave out the over as my play of the year. The Cardinals were projected 7 runs in that game, and the Diamondbacks were in the high 5s. That game ended 16-7 in favor of the Cardinals, with the over hitting close to the 4th inning. I haven't seen a 7-run projection since. That was back in August of last year. So instead of explaining why the Padres are the play, let me explain why it's not the game of the year. It's the San Diego Padres. Are we good to flash that? Look at that shit. I swear on everything I know, I have not seen that. Even the Cardinals, when I went back and looked at the model, 7.14. You can play the team total over. I think you basically play the Padres in any way you want. Look at that first 5 lead. I mean, holy shit. I was in shock last night when I was going over it. In shock. I didn't even know what to do. I was like, oh my God, what do I do? I haven't seen this. Could it be a complete lie? Absolutely. It's the Padres. And that's why it's not the play of the year. They have been such an inconsistent team, and relying on them to win with margin has been challenging this year. And the Padres have also been historically bad in Coors Field, which doesn't matter. I don't care what James Shields did against a Rockies offense. I don't care that Chase Headley didn't have a double in his game at Coors Field. But, of course, when we talk about stacking small edges together, that's not an edge that we can stack, right? Padres being inconsistent, historically bad at Coors Field. Here's why I am playing it, though. Austin Gomber is pitching at home. This guy's not figured out how to pitch at his home ballpark. He's rocking an 8.64 ERA at home this season, and he's currently arguing for the worst pitcher in Major League Baseball, swinging a 6.99 ERA and a 7.24 expected. I mean, that's worse than Manoah. That is worse than Syndergaard. This is the worst pitcher in Major League Baseball. And I will give the Padres some credit. They have a 109 WRC plus against lefties over the past month, and it has risen to 111 over the past 2 weeks. This offense has been near top 10 against left-handed pitching and will face the worst in the league who can't pitch at home. I'm also taking the run line for a reason, right? You can play the team total over, and I think it hits. I really do think it hits. But the Rockies bullpen has less rest right now than any team in Major League Baseball. I checked. Every Rockies bullpen arm has thrown at least 26 pitches in the last 3 days, except for Brent Suter, who is another lefty. Peter Lambert, 55 pitches. Jake Bird, 47. Pierce Johnson, 46. Daniel Bard, 39. Brad Hand, 33. Justin Lawrence, 31. Karasidi even just threw 26 pitches yesterday. This Rockies bullpen is trashed right now. You normally hear me hyping them up when they're healthy and ready to go. They are not. But it's hard to say what we're going to get from Yu Darvish today. The last time he threw at Coors Field, he tossed 6 innings of 2-run ball, which is great. But he has a terrible road ERA. But it's really on the backs of 2 blow-up starts where he allowed 7 runs against the Yankees and 5 runs against the Mets, or maybe the other way around. But other than that, he has allowed 12 total runs in 2 road starts against both New York teams. And luckily, the Padres had an off day yesterday that helps them in 2 different areas. For one, they get to fly in early, which helps them adjust the altitude. 2, the bullpen got the day off, right? So they're going to have everyone of note available. I'm expecting the Padres to absolutely annihilate the Colorado Rockies today. I picked my spots. I've only taken 1 run line this entire season. The Rockies will either win this game or the Padres will win this game by 40. Give me the Padres -1.5 at -120. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Come on. Padres by $1 billion today. But it ain't our only play. It's only our second play of 3. Let's go to Philadelphia and let's talk about the Dodgers taking on the Philadelphia Phillies. The pitching matchup was Michael Grove versus Ranger Suarez, and then Victor Gonzalez came in, and all of gambling Twitter lost their freaking minds. Why are we freaking out? Give me Victor Gonzalez against the top of this lefties lineup, or top of this Phillies lineup that's filled with lefties. Kyle Schwarber, Bryce Harper. He's only going to go for an inning because Michael Grove has struggled against left-handed hitting this season. Good. Give me him. I like it better now. I like this Dodgers approach. You tell me the Dodgers made an adjustment and you don't like it? I mean, they could lose. It's baseball, right? Nothing's perfect. Anything is possible. But they made an adjustment that actually helps them. But let's talk about Michael Grove versus Ranger Suarez. So Michael Grove is an 8.14 ERA. On the surface, you may look at a pitcher like that and expect him to be some no-name garbage trash can. Michael Grove is anything but that. And there's a reason his ERA is at 8.14, though. He's had 5 starts this season. 1 was against the Arizona Diamondbacks. In his second start of the year, he allowed 9 runs in 3 1/3. He followed that by allowing 3 runs in his next 2 starts over 8 2/3, and then went to Yankee Stadium and allowed 4 runs in 5 innings. His expected ERA sits at 4.19, telling us that his ERA is going to come down because he's much better than this. I think he's a back of the rotation arm. Nothing more, nothing less. Just like a fine arm, right? Nothing to write home about. Nothing where I'm like, oh yeah, Dodgers are going to win this game by $1 billion. The line is the way that it is because Ranger Suarez is definitely a better pitcher than Michael Grove. But Grove is rocking an above-average strike or an average strikeout rate and an above-average walk rate and hard hit rate, which is good. His fastball has been the main issue, but the Phillies haven't been a tremendous fastball hitting team this season, and he's throwing it less and less over basically every start. And the Phillies offense is starting to click, no doubt about it, but it just hasn't fully come around yet. They have a 117 WRC plus against lefties in June and a 109 WRC plus against righties. That's improving, but it ain't the Dodgers level. The Dodgers destroy every single left-handed pitcher that comes across. Since June began, the Dodgers have a 200 WRC plus. In the last month, they have a 164 WRC plus. Those all rank number 1 by a wide margin, and they'll get Ranger Suarez today. Suarez looked rusty in the early goings, but has put it together nicely. He's gone back-to-back starts allowing 2 runs or less against the Mets and the Nationals. He's kept plenty of balls on the ground, but still rocked a 3.87 FIP and 4.31 xFIP over those 2 starts. Again, I think he's a good pitcher, and he's going to return to normal soon. But this is just a horrible matchup. If this were the best version of Ranger Suarez, this was World Series Ranger Suarez, I would still take the Dodgers with how they're seeing left-handed pitching. And the Dodgers bullpen going into last night's game was not well rested. But thankfully, they got plenty of length from Kershaw, and no quality arms were forced into the game. The Phillies bullpen is going to be without Sir Anthony Dominguez and Craig Kimbrell, which gives the Dodgers the leg up. But it is expected that Jose Alvarado is going to return. Phillies fans, Jose Alvarado's back. Arguably the best reliever in baseball until he went down with that injury. Huge arm for the Phillies. But again, lefty, right? Against the Dodgers. I don't give a shit who you are. You throw with your left hand. Welcome to the Dodgers show. The Phillies could go to Matt Strahm, lefty. Who are they going to go to? That's not a lefty that I'm afraid of. Connor Brogdon? If Connor Brogdon shuts down the Dodgers, so be it. But the model has the Dodgers capped at minus 146. I'd play them up to minus 115. I took them on the money line at minus 105. 1.05 units to win 1 unit. Can I get some bangs in the chat? I mean, come on now. Is anyone else not fired up? Is anyone else not fired up? We've been on a roll lately. People might say printing. But again, I'm not someone who, on losses, we keep the same thing. We're Carlos Beltran. We're annoyingly middle. We are annoyingly middle, right? Losses, we stay here. Wins, we stay here. So you're going to win money long-term in baseball. Let's do it again today with those 3 MLB best bets. Time to bring out the model. We got perk factors, we got game simulations, and we got a matchup machine. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here's the math. Let's start with game 1. This game, right? I was talking about the fact that I kind of lean the Rangers on the money line, that I think the over is a decent play if you can get it at 8. What is it on BetMGM right now? What is it on BetMGM right now? I can never actually find the game. Where is it? 8.5. Yeah, I mean, I would stay away from that. If you want to play in this game, I would go with the Rangers. My only issue is the model is freaking obsessed with Andrew Heaney every start, and it just freaking pisses me off. 72% win rate at home versus the Padres means nothing. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't mean nothing, but because everything means something. But if if you bet baseball like that, you were in piss from Minnesota Twins versus the New York Yankees. Remember the Twins won 10-1 in that game? I mean, yeah. I mean, am I supposed to care about how James Shields performed against a 2018 Rockies lineup and how that affects Yu Darvish today? That's like on ESPN First Take when they're like, John Morant it might be suspended. How does this affect LeBron James's Cavs run in 2011? They don't actually do that, but that's what it seems like to me. But back to this Rangers versus Rays game. Yeah, I would lean the Rangers. Not going to play it, but if you're looking for some plus doggies, plus 145 is a little bit disrespectful to the Rangers. They have been one of baseball's best teams. This line should be a lot closer. Minus 111 is a stretch, obviously. I would consider it more like a plus 120 type line. So I think you're still getting value basically whenever you're going with. Maybe a Rangers plus 1.5 could be decent. Rangers plus 1.5 could consider that. Let's get to the second game on the model. So this game is rather interesting. Remember, we bring a lot of the games that a lot of people are going to pitch, right? A lot of people are going to pitch these. So just letting you know, the model does like the Blue Jays, and people love the Twins. Unless there's some, yeah, I agree with you, Richard Parlay. The funny thing is, I kind of agree with the people on the Twins today. But the thing is, okay, listen to this for a second. Do the Twins seem square? Right? Like everyone's like, oh, the line is so weird. What should the line be? Right? Like it's Sonny Gray who's way better than Yusei Kikuchi. I almost think it's telling that the Blue Jays are favored at all. Right? So I'm talking myself into the Blue Jays here. All I've heard about is how weird the Twins line is. What should it be? That's what I always ask. Shouldn't the Twins be theoretically favored? Sonny Gray against Yusei Kikuchi, who's been terrible. Shouldn't the Twins be favored here? No, but the Blue Jays are favored here. I like the Blue Jays. You know what? I like the Twins going into it. I now switched. I kind of like the Blue Jays. Again, I'm not going to bet on it. But that's where I'd lean, ladies and gentlemen. I would. 8.5 might go over. Jays are hot and bats are way better. Are Jays hot? They've won a bunch of one-score games against the Astros. Are they hot? They're kind of hot. Not crazy, though. Yeah, they have won 4 series in a row, though. You're right. I'm not even being sarcastic. Like, you're right. Yeah, that's why I'm not going to touch it. But I would lean the Blue Jays. I would lean the Blue Jays. Twins aren't. Yeah, I mean, the Twins are not very good. All right, what's the third game on the model? Yeah, this game. I think the Braves absolutely demolished Josiah Gray today. I almost consider them playing on the run line at home, but I was a little bit too scared because I don't know exactly what we're going to see from AJSS. That's my new nickname for him. Hopefully that sticks. Do you like that, Producer Cohen? AJSS? Kind of sounds sick. He sounds like a Russian bot, like a Russian robot sent here from Putin to destroy the Washington Nationals. AJSS. I like that. I'm going to roll with that and see if it sticks. No one. Can we start saying that like as a community and be like, oh, yeah, Peter started that? No, but in real talk, though, I would definitely lean the Braves here. I think they pummel them, right? They think the Braves are a little bit overvalued in the spot. If you're going to play the Braves, I would consider playing them early. I basically just think that Josiah Gray has a tough day. I think he does. I think Josiah Gray has a tough day today. He's due for power regression to the mean, which is not good against a Braves team that is just unloading on baseballs right now. People in the chat are asking if Producer Cohen has a bounce back play. He said give him some time. He's got to get back in the lab. Should we get into the home runs? Let's do some home runs. All right, who do I like here? Braves first 5 team total over. Do not hate it one bit, Skywalker _ captain. Who do I like here? I mean, I kind of like Brian Reynolds against McGill. Like, I mean, the Mets are just in a free fall right now. Also, if you want to smile, go listen to the Michael K show. It's Don LaGreca ranting about how the free fall of the Mets combined with like Joe from Staten Island bitching about the Mets. It is such good comedy. And I'm not even a Mets hater. It's just premier entertainment. Like if you're going to click off of this show, it better be to listen to that because it is, you guys got to listen. I think the episode is called Grow Up. Michael K, Don LeCrae. Oh, it's just hilarious. Yeah, Pete is on the IL. They just haven't simmed that yet. Because that's new news. It came out today. So this is, it's still. So yeah, Pete Alonso's not playing today, just so we all know. Who do I like, though? I don't mind Brian Reynolds. That would be my favorite. Also, Luis Arias, even being up here right now, is sketchy as shit. That's weird. Like, I haven't seen his name. I know he's been injured, but I've been doing this for a long time. You don't see Luis Arias with that good odds. So maybe he's a banger. What is he on books? What is Luis on books right now? 3 to 4 weeks. Are you pissed? I mean, Aaron Judge is going to be out for freaking months. Yeah. I'm taking that. Sounds fixed. I mean, I want to see what his odds are. If they're plus 600 or above, let me see. Player props, home runs. Why do they don't have any Brewers up? What's going on? Wait. They have a very limited home run. Hold on. Let's see. I just want to know the odds. Because this is sneaky. I haven't seen that name up here in years. Why is he up here today? Let me see. Batter props. Oh, no, that's to hit the first home run. I was like, plus 2,200? Plus 600. I called it. Guys, I like Luis. I know he's been hurt for forever. I'm talking about even last year. I'm talking about last year, too. Don't worry, Ant. I know. I was saying it earlier. Don't worry. I know that he hasn't been up this year because he's been hurt. I'm talking about last year, too. He's rarely up in these ranks. He's plus 600. I do like it. I do like it for Luis Arias against Luis Medina, who is a home run allower. All right, let's go to the top. Ha, ha, ha. I wonder if the Padres are going to score today. I'm going to leave it at that. There you go. I'm going to leave it at that, ladies and gentlemen. Also, Ryan Noda is definitely going yard off Adrian Hauser. All right, we got people in queue. We got Lid Lager. We got Lid Lager in queue. What's the Lid Lager record since the rebrand?
I've had one loss and one Prize Picks loss, but we're up in the world. We have one unit as we rebranded.
I like to rip on you sometimes, but you know what I want to give you credit for?
What's that?
Want to give you credit for? I've tracked this. In the last 3 times you've pitched a Prize Picks entry, every single time they hit.
The singular Prize Pick
that you give me, like for the community entry, every single time your prop has been put in, it is hit.
Peter Apple must have forgotten this last year in Spaces, in the Prize Pick Spaces. That's where I made my name.
That's why you're on this freaking show, because you were ripping shit.
Yeah, it's not the plays. Trust me, it's the props. It's not the plays.
I don't believe that. I think this is going to be a bounce back day.
Yeah, we'll see. Taking some good value in my opinion. The first play I have up, if you want to get straight into it. I'm back in Cease today on the run line. Plus money. Plus 105. I am absolutely fading and selling the Marlins at their market high. They just swept the Oakland A's, awful pitching. They just swept the Kansas City Royals and their awful pitching. I mean, this could not be a more public spot in my mind. And to fade Dylan Cease, he hasn't looked good all year, and to back the Marlins, who have been hitting everybody. Cease he's not been great this year. Yeah, his velocity is a tick down. He doesn't have as high of a spin rate, but I think he matches well against this Marlins staff, who's yet to announce their lineup today, which is quite odd to me. But looking into it, The one guy I'm afraid of the most is probably Yuli Gurriel, who's been performing the best, obviously, after Luis Arias, who's going to hit 4 singles today. I've already accepted it. But Gurriel probably won't be in the lineup if Garrett Cooper plays. And if it's one or the other, I'd prefer Garrett Cooper to play. Take those big old hacks against Cease's slider, who he found a little more of his last start, and he's starting to throw his curveball a little bit more, so which helps me. And as long as he's not throwing that fastball as much, that's all I worry about. And he ticked it down his usage last start, so I am buying Dylan Cease and selling the Marlins after their most recent 7-game win streak.
It's so funny. The model loves the Marlins, but the model has hated Dylan Cease since opening day. Like, it's the first start. And what's crazy, it's like it's been right. Like,
dude, it's been spot on.
At this point, though, it hates him every start, no matter what.
Right.
Like,
until it gets new information to deviate from the mean, it's not going to change.
They're like shoving it in my face. It's like, look at me. I was right. And the A's, like, the model is kind of hilarious. Like the model, like it kind of gives you the big like FU sometimes. Like, look at
me. And it's only so predictive off of what has happened, not what can happen. And I'm speaking on what potentially. Yes.
What it does is it's based a lot on like spin rate, release points. So what it does is like it simulates the game 1,000 times. And it's more based on like, all right, he throws this amount of times, his fastball, this amount of times slider, and like simulates all the different versions of that. And then how that other team hits those specific pitches. And then it comes to how many times the team wins. So that's more what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't focus on this action as much as I do that action. So that's the model. I'll leave it at that. But I'm expecting Dylan Cease, the human element in him, to come out today and pitch well against a Marlins lineup who has seen some really bad pitching this last week or so.
No, it makes sense. I said, I sort of lean the White Sox, but you'll never see me put it on their money line. So cheers to you.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and also I want to see Yuri Perez. I want him to face a lineup who doesn't strike out that much in the White Sox. I want to see if he can get that contact and get outs. If he's not striking batters out, I want to bet against him. If he's not striking guys out, I don't know if he's ready yet.
Good shit, my man. Let's get to play number 2.
It's the Tampa Bay Rays. So I was debating again the first 5 over or the first 5 run line. It's really, I do not like Andrew Heaney's matchup today. You've spoken on it against you all have spoken on the Just Baseball podcast on YouTube. Check it out if you haven't. Make sure you like and subscribe if you watch. Heaney, the Rangers have the easiest strength of schedule by a fair margin so far this year. Yeah. And that means the lineups that Heaney has pitched against have not been great. This Rays lineup, who has every single lineup batter today, has all 8 of their 9 have over 1,000 OPS against left-handed pitchers at home. And if Heaney is not striking guys out, which the Rays do not do, I think they hit him hard today. I think they hit him early and often. I do like the over because I do expect a lot of the runs to come from the Rays, but I don't love Glass now. His off speed would not look great in his last start, so if his curveball is not striking guys out, which the Rangers are really good at preventing or getting contact, I expect him to probably give up at least 2. But I don't like Heaney's matchup today. I expect the Rays to just third time through the order just to smash Heaney, really.
Yeah, no, I could see that. I had a lean on the Rangers, to be perfectly honest with you.
Sure.
It kind of talked me off it just because I was like, that's a really fat line. Like, that's pretty disrespectful to the Rangers. But not
it's
because
bad.
I was like, oh, they're definitely going to win because of this. I was just like, that's
right.
That's a little unfair, but not to say that I'm betting on the Rangers.
Right, and I mean, I do like the Rangers too. I think they score, especially if Glasnow does pitch okay into the 6th. I don't know what they're going to throw in behind him. That bullpen is it's injured. It's been taxed. It's pretty bad. So unless Glasnow pitches amazing, which he can do, obviously, I don't like him full game. But I do like Heaney and his high propensity to walk batters and the Rays' patient lineup to start getting those hits and knock those guys in, which they're best at doing this year, and hitting with guys in scoring position.
Good stuff, my man. Is that we got one more play?
Yeah, why not? I've won 2 days in a row, so of course I throw a 2-unit play out there. I mean, that's the only way to win my money back, I guess. It's probably square as it gets. It's Ohtani Castillo, first 5 under 4. Ohtani, he's had his issues, but this Seattle Mariners lineup, I spoke towards it last week. They scored 4, but fuck me, it's what it is. They still haven't looked great. After they scored 4, they put up 1 run against Michael Wacha. 1 run. As bad as his expected stats are, he's pitched well this year, but it's Michael Wacha. Ohtani, with his ability, with how well he's pitched against this lineup in his short career and his short tenure, I expect Ohtani to bounce back, especially after he's gotten 6 days off, which he doesn't usually. So I think they saw his speed tick down a little bit, and they saw his accuracy. I can't think of the actual word, but he wasn't as sharp as he was his last start. So I think that extra rest really helps him a lot tonight. I think he has a really sharp bite to his splitter today with that 6th day. And Castillo, the Angels, we just saw Drew Smiley just absolutely own the Angels. If he does it, I think Castillo absolutely mows down our lineup. I don't think these lineups see many scoring chances in the first 5, honestly.
I got a funny thing for you. And tell me what you think about this.
Sure.
I think this game is going to work the complete opposite of yesterday's game, where Gino and I was on the first 5 over, and Gino was on the full game under. The same exact line movement in this game happened, but the opposite way. Your first 5 under moved down to 3.5. But the
total is going juice to the over.
Yesterday, I took the first 5 over. That didn't really budge. The full game over came down. So what I think is going to happen, actually, is that it's going to be a 2-1 ball game going into the 6th, and this game's going to go over 7.5. And then the over is going to hit.
I actually had the same exact thought process, because I don't think Estevez pitches today. I don't think Davinsky pitches today, pitching 2 of the last 3 days, pitching pretty heavily in those 2 games. And again, after those guys, the Angels bullpen is really bad. Outside of Tucker Davidson, of course, who's all-star, number 1 in all.
One more thing, too. You know Ohtani is worse as a hitter when he pitches?
By far, yeah. I mean, the stats.
Yeah, you know it, yeah.
The context is out there. It's a pretty well-known fact now for ball knowers such as you and myself, of course.
He's a human being.
Yeah,
he's
exactly. He's a man. Yeah. There's limitations to what he can do. Not many, but there are some. But against right-handed pitchers, outside of Teoscar Hernandez, the Mariners have looked awful the last 2 months. Same thing with the Angels. If Mike Trout didn't get right against Drew Smiley, I don't know when he is. Everyone's got to stop just trying to catch the falling knife with that guy. Just wait for him to find it. He's already spoken to it. He's struggling, and our lineup does not look great at the moment. Especially with Joe Adell. That guy's phenomenal, but he strikes out so much, and he's so impatient. So much potential.
Phenomenal is a big word.
He has a lot of potential.
Yes.
A lot of potential.
Yes.
Especially defensively, which is why it could be very invaluable, I should say, in the outfield. But I think this game absolutely soars on in the first 5, but I don't like his full game. As again, speaking towards it, the Mariners bullpen, it's not been taxed, but hasn't seen any really heavy. I can't think of the phrase, but they haven't seen really valuable pitching time in the last couple games. They haven't seen many close games, so that tells me if they are in today, even if they're rested, they might be a little off because they haven't seen much action lately. So I do like the full game over, but I love the first 5 to go under.
Good stuff, my man. Any prize picks for the community entry?
Unfortunately not. I haven't looked that much into it. I've been busy. I'm sorry. I mean, to be fair, did I give you John Gray over hits last start, which fucked it up?
Guess where Colby is?
He's not showing up today. I know. There's a reason.
Yesterday either.
He's a pansy.
Soft. He's texted me. He's like, I kind of like the Red Sox. I kind of like the Marlins, but we both know that's not hitting, so I'm not coming on.
I just parlayed the Yankees and the White Sox. So thank you, Colby.
There you go. All right, my friend. Appreciate you coming on. We'll talk to you soon. Enjoy your weekend.
Thanks, guys. Take it easy.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen. So there is one question in the chat that I already answered earlier, but I'll definitely answer it again. Pete, I see Gonzalez pitching for LAD, not Grove. Do you still like the Dodgers? I like them more, to be perfectly honest with you. Think about it like this. Michael Grove stinks against left-handed hitters. He doesn't stink, but it's his worst split. What the Dodgers are doing is that they're throwing a left-handed reliever early in the first inning to get through Schwarber, get through Harper, then they put Grove in. I like that better than just starting with Grove. So arguably that made me like the Dodgers more. Everyone freaked out about that. Like, I would let you guys know if something went out of whack. Like, if you don't hear anything from me, you know I'm still riding. But not only did you not hear anything from me, I like it better. I like it better with that. Like when the Dodgers, they're a smart team, they put in an adjustment. Tell me I'm not riding with that. All right, who's up in queue? Tomas! What's up, brother? A little new
What's going on
background for
How
you.
you doing, bub?
Doing my best.
I'm ready to win some money today. I don't know about you.
I know you won yesterday, didn't you?
I won yesterday, but my Orioles 2-unit play was before the stream, so I pushed on the day. But there's no excuses today. I got 4 plays.
There's no excuses.
No excuses. I got 4 plays. I love all of them. I got 2 underdogs as well. Let's get into it.
Let's flash the leaderboard because now might be the time to buy some stock in Tomas. Tomas, if we remember, was number 1 on our leaderboard and has gone down lately, but he ain't out of it. This kid knows ball. Let's talk.
All right, let's get into it. Diamondbacks, Tigers. I know I believe you have the under in that game, but I'm going to back the Snakes in this one. Give me the D-backs on the money line. Matches a couple systems for me. First off, D-backs are 6-1 in Merrill Kelly's last 7 starts. He's better on the road with 1.63 ERA. Road interleague favorites have been a solid system for me this year. They're 58-33 this season, 64%. And to add to this system, road interleague favorites off a win are 35-15, hitting at 70%. The D-backs had the day off yesterday, which is a huge rest advantage considering the Tigers had just went from Philadelphia going back home. And I just like this matchup. You're giving Merrill Kelly an extra day. You're giving the rest of the team, some extra time off because of the cancellation, and they're going to have a rested bullpen. Detroit's batting .221 as a team, 14-13 at home. Arizona's been profitable in these spots, 19-9 as a favorite, 17-11 on the road, and 26-15 against right-handers. Give me Arizona.
Good stuff, my man. I got nothing for you. When I was doing my research, I was like, do I like the D-backs more? And I was like, I think Merrill Kelly's going to pitch so well. So I was like, instead of laying the juice, I'll take the under.
I like it. I did like the under. I thought about it too. It was a coin flip for me. I was like, I'm just going to just win the damn game. That's the way I saw it.
Win the damn game. It would have actually been cool if you took Diamondbacks run line.
I thought about it, but I was like, no, because if they won by 1, you know how pissed off I would have been. Yeah.
Tomas gets pissed off about run lines. Let's talk about play number 2.
Mets, Pirates. Listen, I'm taking the Pirates on the money line. And this is the way that I see this game, after the Mets blew it again yesterday against the Braves, I said, whoever they're playing tomorrow, I don't care who it is. It could have been the Athletics. I was going to bet whoever the Mets were going against. And they got the Pirates. This is the way that I see it. The Mets just blew 3 straight games. 3 straight games.
They're
now
pissed.
Yeah. And they're going to now.
Did you listen? Did you hear my spiel at the beginning? Like, I'm telling you, if you want to laugh, go listen to Michael K's show. And it's just Don LaGreca and Peter Rosenberg. And I don't know if you know Don LaGreca, huge Mets fan. And he goes on this insanely hilarious rant about how the season's over. And then they welcome on callers from like New Jersey and Staten Island just bitching about the Mets. It is Cohen's over there just pissed. I mean, it is the funniest shit I have ever heard. And it's continuous. Like, there's no breaks to talk about anything else. It's just 45 minutes of straight up pain and misery. It's hilarious.
Everyone's mad at the Mets. I mean, I would be too. I mean, you had what? It was like 3-4 run leads in every single game. But here's the best part about it. They now have to go last night after choking again to the Braves in extra innings, hop on a plane and go to Pittsburgh to face the Pirates, who had the day off yesterday. It just doesn't seem like a recipe for success. The Mets bullpen is toast. And they only got 3 innings out of Verlander yesterday. And they need a strong start from Miguel today, and I just don't see it. It's not a dream scenario considering he's got an expected ERA of a 5.8. He's walked 32 batters in 59 innings this year, and Rich Hill isn't that much better. But when I look at this line, I saw it more as a pick 'em, and if you're going to give me the Pirates plus money at home with the rest advantage, come on. Give me it seems almost a little bit too good to be true for me, but I haven't seen a lot of people on the Pirates today. But give me Pittsburgh. I'm going to fade the Mets. And if they lose again today, I'm going to fade them again tomorrow. So give me the Pirates.
I should have been on this play. It's a great play. Now they're at -120.
Love it.
I really like this play.
Love
Producer Cohen, Mets fan, what do you think? Get on screen for a second.
What about the over in this game? Because, that they're both going to – the Mets hit insanely well yesterday, and we have nobody to pitch today. So –
give me the over too. I thought about the over, but I saw the Pirates at plus money. I said, I'm going to take the plus money all day.
Yeah, that's the play.
I mean, I'm pissed, so.
That's the play. Good shit, Tomas. Love that play. It's one of my favorite plays you've ever pitched. I'm not even kidding.
Thank you. Let's get to the next one. I think you'll like this one too. Hear me out. It's a little different because I'm betting back the Blue Jays. Sonny Gray's on the bump, and first off, I don't understand why Toronto's favored in this spot, considering how good Sonny Gray has been. The line opened at minus 115. Yeah. Most shops had it closer to minus 125 now. But listen to this: the Twins don't give Gray any run support. The Minnesota's 1-5 in his last 6 starts. Jorge Polanco's probably not going to play today. He left yesterday's game early, and the Jays match a couple of systems for me as well. ALS teams versus AL Central teams this year are 49-21 this season, and this is a good spot to fade the Twins. They're 7-17 as an underdog this year, and this is a value play on Toronto. And I can't forget to mention that the Blue Jays are 18-11 at home, while the Twins are 13-18 on the road. And I'm going to take Toronto's lineup batting 263 compared to the Twins batting 229. I'm not going to overthink it. Give me the better team at home. It's a fishy line. Let's go Blue Jays.
I agree with you. I love this card.
I love my card.
Great card.
I loved it. It.
This is a great card today. Keep on killing it, Tomas. You got one more. Excuse me.
I got one more.
Sorry.
This is. I think you might like this one too because I want everyone to know when I play this. I'm betting on the Reds today. I'm taking them on the money line. I got it at plus 166 this morning. Crack of dawn, I said I'm betting the Reds. I don't care. And before I break down the game, I'm all in on this Reds team. After watching them this past series against the Dodgers, they're young, they're exciting, and I have this sneaky feeling that Cincinnati is going to go on a little bit of a win streak. So they play the Cardinals. They got a 3-game series against the Cardinals, and then they play the A's, the Rockies, then the Astros, and then the Braves. So it gets a little tougher there towards the end. I believe that was a schedule I was looking at earlier. But if the Reds win tonight, and I want everyone to know this, if the Reds win tonight, I'm going to continue to bet the Reds every day until they lose. Look at that. I'm not even kidding you. If they win today, I'm going to continue to bet them until they lose. I know they got shut out yesterday by Clayton Kershaw, but they got to get another swing at a lefty today in Jordan Montgomery. They're better against lefties, 17th in the league against left-handers versus 23 against right-handers. And from a pitching standpoint, I think Ben Lively does have the edge over Montgomery. He has an expected ERA of 3.72 compared to Montgomery's 4.48. And the Cardinals, listen to this, they've lost the last 10 games that Montgomery has started, and that's why there's so much value on the Reds. You're giving me Cincinnati at such a huge dog when, St. Louis, like I said, haven't won. They haven't won a game when Montgomery's been on the mound in almost a month and a half now. I know it's a square play. The Reds.
He's just not in queue anymore. Maybe his computer died. Oh, he's on his phone. He's probably coming. We're not in Streamlabs dumb shit anymore, so it's not on us. We'll get people right back in queue. We're on StreamYard. Far superior. Cohen W. I totally agree. Pirates seem so obvious. Who's betting the Mets after the last week? Yeah. All right, Tomas back.
I don't know what happened there, but like I said, give me the Reds today. I really like them in this spot. I love my card today. If you want a prize pick entry, give me. Let me see. I have it. I was just looking at it before I came on.
Why is it Brandon Dixon over 1.5 bases?
No, it's Daniel Lynch more than 2.5 earned runs. I think.
I hate the earned run props.
I know why you do. I know why.
It has nothing to do with the pitch. Patrick Corbin over 3.5 earned runs. The last time we were finished with 3. We can't do it. We cannot do the category. We have to find a different way to fade Lynch. He could give up 9 hits and 2 runs, and we're just laying
that's the
it
thing that
in.
scares me is because I would be like, I'm gonna fade his strikeout prop, and I did it last week. I was like, you know what, whatever. I'm gonna fade his strikeout prop, and he gave up 5 runs, but had 9 strikeouts, and I was like, why would I do that? I didn't know he had stuff like that, but I was like, you know what, I like the O's. I'm going to take his overruns. But like I said, I love the card today. I'm feeling really good about it. And like I said, buy some stock in Tomas Romo because we're going to go on this little win streak here. I'm feeling good. Let's rock, baby.
One thing before you leave, I'm a little bit nervous about the Reds. Kind of similar to the Marlins. Feel like they're too easy of dogs.
I know,
it's not like they're just plus 160, plus up that range. It's I looked at the Reds and I was like, do I have to play it based on principle? They're just, and I think that's kind of what you're doing.
100%.
I'm worried that it's is this the spot? Them going into St. Louis, Cardinals are way more desperate for a win. But
And
the
that's
thing is,
kind of
I
the
love
way
the
I
rest
see
of your
it.
card.
And that's the way I see it in the sense of that's why I threw 0.75 units on it. Also, too, that was kind of my whole pitch from the beginning. If they win this game, I'm going to continue to bet them because I'm throwing everything else out the window.
If they win today, they are actually just undervalued and like
Yes.
almost a great bet every day.
Yep. And that's the way that I see it. And so if they lose today, then you know what? I'm wrong. And maybe I was trying to get a little too cute. But if they win today, then Cincinnati, I just see this as one of this series right now. If the Reds are find a way to sweep St. Louis in St. Louis, I mean, come on. We're talking about a division that's wide open. And if you just want to talk from a baseball standpoint, the Reds need as many wins they can get, especially divisional games. I know it's really early in the season, but
it ain't that early anymore.
It's not.
Don LaGreca had a hilarious right. He's like, I'm sick of people saying this. It's early in the season, and I'm sick of people talking about the Nationals 2019 run. Like, we suck. We don't know how to win.
And that's what I'm saying. This is the perfect opportunity. I don't care if the Cardinals beat the Rangers 1-0 yesterday. They can't score. They can't pitch. I don't know. I mean, a part of me almost played the over, but I was like, you know what? No, I like the Reds. Give me the Reds. Let's see what happens. But like I said, I love the card. Let's see what happens.
Keep getting after it, my friend. We'll talk to you soon. All right. Enjoy your weekend.
You too, my man.
All right. Nobody in queue right now. Who we got coming up next? Ben in the next minute. I'm excited to talk to him about his Rockies donation because he was giving me some. Who we got in queue right now? Who just came in? Should we just do Nick first? Yeah, let's do Nick first. If you want to welcome in Nick. Nick, should we do you first or Ben? What do you think?
If Ben's here, bring him on. But if he's not, I can talk.
Yeah, what we could do is when he comes in, we'll do a dual box.
Okay, yeah.
We'll do a dual box. So
It works.
Maybe we'll wait until Ben comes. Get into every play that's not the Padres.
Okay, yeah. So one of the plays I'm on is actually the one that Tomas was just talking about, which is the Reds money line. I locked it in later than he did, so I got a worse price. But I still think it's a good look here.
Yeah.
Reds bats raking against lefties. Jordan Montgomery, he's fine. I mean, as a Yankees fan, I'm sure you
I agree.
have
He is
good and bad feelings about Jordan Montgomery.
when you look up fine pitcher in Google, picture of his face comes up.
Yeah,
It's not a bad thing.
I have a question for you about Jordan Montgomery.
Yeah.
Who is a better pitcher than Jordan Montgomery that is a Yankees development project going back to like 2000?
Luis Severino.
But like, are there any others? Like, would you put Domingo Germán in there?
No.
Or is there like literally anybody else?
Well, I mean, like,
And I think Severino is even an argument.
Severino is better. It's just Severino's been hurt, but Severino was like almost won the Cy Young.
Yeah, good Severino. I agree.
Development project. I mean, they suck at developing pitchers. We're going back to like Phil Hughes. We're going back to Jabba Chamberlain. Like, we're going back a while. Who's been a better development than Jordan Montgomery in the past decade? God damn it. That question makes me upset. Damn it.
It's funny because the Yankees do like such a good job developing bats.
Yeah, they do a great job developing bats. Yeah, they just haven't developed. They do what I will give the Yankees credit for. They do an incredible job of building a bullpen. But from a starting pitching standpoint,
yeah, it's like kind of interesting to think about. And I think
Clark Schmidt was supposed to be something. But then again, they don't draft pitchers all that high. But then, I mean, that's not
an
it's a cop-out answer. Yeah.
So, I mean, and you don't draft international pitchers.
Yeah, like the Rays are drafting dudes in the 18th round that are developing into freaking studs. So yeah, that's not a good enough argument.
But yeah, sorry, that was just a side point. Something
it made me upset. About. So thank you.
Sorry, it's okay. That all of the winning picks that you have today are going to make you feel better later.
I hope so.
But yeah, I think at plus 145, we're getting a good number on Cincy here. They rake against lefties. Lively's pitching fine also. So I mean, if you call the starting pitching matchup equal, I just don't see a reason why the Reds are plus 145 here.
That's my thing. I'm confused on the price. I think this is a make or break game. Like, either the Vegas doesn't have them priced correctly right now, or this is everyone's piling in on the Reds and they lose. But again, like I told Tomas too, I was like, they could win this. I don't know which one it is.
Yeah, and I think it's just a pure value play, right? So
yeah.
At plus 145, you need to be hitting what,
40,
like 41, 42%
Yeah.
to be breaking even. So I mean,
they
like,
win this game more than that. So yeah,
exactly. Like I'm very happy placing this bet, even if we do get a loss.
fine by me. Let's go to pick number 2.
Yeah. So let's go with the Dodgers team
Mm.
total over 4.5.
Like
So
a
I mean,
lot.
I think, yeah, I know you're on the Dodgers ML. I like that too. I just didn't really trust Grove. I know Grove is a good pitching prospect. I know he's going to be better than he has been. I just can't trust him right now.
Fair.
I know that there was a change in the starting pitching. They've got somebody coming in.
Victor Gonzalez.
Yeah, Victor Gonzalez coming in and pitching an inning or two at the start of the game before Grove comes in. I just don't want to worry about that. I don't want to worry about the Phillies bats. I don't want to worry about trusting guys to get better on the mound. Just give me this Dodgers team that is destroying left-handed bats or left-handed arms against Ranger Suarez, who is just does not look good right now.
Couldn't agree more. I maybe should have played this. I just had faith in Grove pitching okay and the Dodgers bullpen having more rest, being able to close it out and win a game. Because I did get the Dodgers money on -105, so you're playing a little bit more. Did that factor into your equation? Because even
I was honestly surprised to see this at 4.5 at all. I was expecting to look at team totals in this game and see 5 -105.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
interesting.
so the total dropped from 9.5 to 9.
Yeah, that's what I was like.
So then the team totals will also drop.
Okay.
But yeah, I was surprised to be getting this number.
Yeah, I think it's a great number.
Yeah, I agree. That's why I bet it.
All right, let's pick number 3.
Yeah. So is Ben here yet?
Ben's not here yet. Just talk about the Padres.
Yeah. So again, this is another play that you're on. Looks like our minds were in very much the same spot today.
Oh wait, just 0.25 units?
Oh no, it was supposed to be 1.25.
Oh yeah,
I might have had a typo.
Okay.
I did. Either way, yeah, 1.25.
We'll get you tracked
Yeah,
for 1.25.
it says 1.25.
Yeah.
But yeah, Gomber is awful, and I thought it was funny. So you had the ballpark pal model up, with like the crazy score. Our model had almost the exact same score. It was like between the two teams off by total of like 0.3 of a run. On the exact same final score.
Do you ever see a team projected 7 runs?
Yeah. I see it a little bit more often than you do.
Yeah.
Especially with games in course. I think the weirdest score that we had this year, which was just like absolutely absurd. There was a game in the Mets and National Series where it had Mets winning 8-2.8. And the game finished 8-2. That was absurd. That was like in the years that I've been running the model, that was like the biggest discrepancy I'd ever seen in terms of just like a raw spread.
Yeah,
I've seen like a couple team totals in that 8 range before, mostly in cores, but that was wild. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah,
like, this is crazy. And then it was like almost exact correct score.
Is this you reference your holy grail plays? Is this technically one of them, or you just like the Padres on the run line?
Well, I like the Padres on the run line either way. So the 3 criteria that we need is we need a team on the road, which the Padres are. We need the model to like them by a certain amount, which it definitely does here. There's no questions about that. They also need to be like a consensus -200 favorite. And I don't think the Padres are quite meeting that criteria at this point.
Yeah, I think the Padres.
It's just like there's a couple -200s, but it's like -190, -195. So like technically not. We could see it move there by the time the game starts, and if it does, they are technically a holy grail play. But again, like we're borderline. I love it either way.
Good stuff, my man. Yeah, I think they demolish Austin Gomber today to a point where it doesn't really even matter how Yu Darvish pitches. Like I think he's out. He's at 14.5 pitching outs. He's at 3.5 earned runs. Every single Padre is up on the books for about
those
a billion
are
runs.
Gomber's numbers?
Yeah, what did I say?
Oh, I just
no, yeah.
You didn't say either way. Yeah,
no, Gomber's 14.5 pitching outs.
Okay,
it could lose. Like
of
nothing's perfect. That's baseball, right? I don't want to make people think that this is some lock. There's no such thing as locks.
Yeah, it's just all about value, right? We're betting this at -1, -120, -125. You need to be hitting 53, 54%.
I think it hits.
And I think it's a bet that hits more.
I think it hits 100% of the time.
Yeah, no, I literally I have my house. I took out a mortgage on a house I don't own. I don't have a wife, but I bet the wife.
I bet the wife. I bet the hypothetical wife. Do you have because those are your 3 plays, right?
Yeah.
Do you have a prize pick square for a community entry?
I don't.
You hate the people?
I like the people enough to not give them a bad prop.
That's the perfect answer. Appreciate you, my friend. All right, we'll talk to you soon. Rolling with the Friars.
Mortgage that stash, my bro. That's the only thing I won't put on this wager.
Give us the Padres by $1 billion. We'll talk to you soon. All right, good stuff.
See ya.
Okay, who we got else in queue? Ollie 1 unit. I think he's on the course. We got an Ollie 1 unit course whale mega lock. Not Mitch Keller on the mound. Sell your house.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we don't get Mitch Keller today, but that's all right.
What do we got for the people?
How do I sound? Am I good?
Sound great.
All right, perfect. Yeah. I got one play, and it's sitting right there. This may be kind of a boring, glaring, obvious play to some. Betting splits say otherwise. A lot of tickets on the over, not a lot of money, but Marcus Stroman pitching against the Giants coming off Coors. I really like that spot. It takes away the weakness of the Cubs bullpen. Marcus Stroman's going to give you 6 or 7 tonight. That's great news. I love to see that. And on the flip side, the Cubs lineup still reeks. We saw that last night with the over out there in LA. That team cannot hit. Desclafani isn't great by any means, but, and read a Just Baseball article about this, Giants bullpen, best in the bigs in the last 30 days by a number of different metrics.
Yep.
People don't want to realize that. People don't want to accept it, but stats are stats. So this one, my favorite play today, 1 unit Johnson. Not overthinking it. Just give me the under.
Good stuff, my man. I like this fading a team off course. My only thing is I didn't really know how to play it, but I think this might be the way to go, especially getting plus money on that under 7.5. Let me check a line for you, just see where it's at currently for the people. All right, so it's at 8 at -110, but of course, like you took plus 105 at 7.5.
I took minus 105.
Oh, really?
I took minus 105, moved to plus 105, and then moved up to 8.
All right, well, we got you at plus 105.
That's fine.
Fuck it. All right.
Okay. Tristan Cassis over half a base for my community prize pick entry.
Say less, Tristan. Yeah, what are you shooting?
2 over after 6.
Is that good or bad for you? Sounds bad
right.
for you.
It's not great. Could be better.
What are we looking at on a hole 7? Can we get a celebrity golf shot right here? Oh, I love this. Let's get it. Oh, I like this.
A little par 3. Missed a little left. We're just going to chip it up there. You know? We're just going to chip it up there.
Everyone, shh. Oh, that sounded good. That sounded good. That sounded really good. I think he likes it.
That's a gimme.
That's a gimme. I knew it sounded good.
Yeah.
Hey, clap it up.
We're in gimme range. Not a big deal.
Nobody else is in queue yet. Can you bring us up to the green, see where you're at, maybe even finish the putt in case someone comes in queue?
Well, here, I'll putt it one-handed for you. I don't know how to flip I don't think I can flip the camera, but yeah.
Oh, I knew he liked it.
Gimme.
Not a baby.
Not a big deal. We're just out here grinding away pars, tap it in. Not
Good
a big
stuff,
deal,
my friend. So I got you for Tristan Costas over half a base for the community entry, and we were rocking with this under at 7.5 or 8. You don't care. You're just trying to win some coin.
Yeah, the new Yankees Red Sox meme is going to be that Tristan Costas owns Garrett Cole, so get ready for that one.
I like it because the Costas is heating up too.
He's been hitting the ball really well for like 5 weeks. It's finally starting to fall for him. On top of that, he's only seen Garrett Cole in 2 games in his career. He's got 2 walks, 1 for 2, average exit velo, 109. Pretty good.
That's going to play. And a half base, yeah, we'll take that.
Half base. I think he's batting 7th with Adam Duvall back, but at least
Adam Duvall's back.
Adam Duvall's back. Should get four goes at it no matter what, ideally anyways. So
good stuff, my man. Enjoy the rest of your round, and we'll talk to you soon. Enjoy your weekend.
See you next time.
Peace. We have Krabs coming on to the show.
Sure. Win or lose.
Win or lose.
I show up.
This is why Colby is losing respect here. Because win or lose, Krabs is up here giving the people winners. Where's Colby?
W Just Baseball chirp. Love it. Love it.
I'm waiting.
Where is he?
Sitting here.
Where is he?
We have the show, right? He's a part of the company.
No heart.
Absolutely
is
no
it?
heart.
Was he out walking around the town? Is he grabbing a slice of pizza? Where is he? Probably right next to you. Go grab him. What are we doing here?
He
God.
retreated to Connecticut. The air got bad in New York. He not only left the show, he left town. What are we doing?
He said, I can't buy a bet right now. I got to get out of there. I got to get out.
He asked me for money for his train ticket.
I don't blame him. Yeah, the way these bets been going, I might be hitting you up too if I lose another one of these 3U plays. Sheesh.
Oh God, let's get into it.
Yeah, I mean, we started out the week with 2 3U winners and back-to-back 3U losers. Okay, so back to square one. Hate to see it. It is what it is. Going back to a familiar bet, a familiar friend. The Nationals over. Okay, over 10.5. Sure, it's pulling back to 10. I bet as soon as I lock it in, put it in the Discord. You know what happens. Every book goes right back down to 10. Sure. Crazy coincidence. I love it. It's been that type of week, Pete. You know how it is, brother. It's been that type of week, and I have the worst line now, but we have to use that one. We have to use it, Pete. We have to use it. Okay? It's what we have to do. Pete, if we don't use it, man, I swear to God.
I'm canceling this shit.
We have to use that line because that's what makes the difference. Okay. The over in Washington and Atlanta. Okay. The Atlanta offense, they speak for themselves. Do I even have to gas them up a little bit? Probably not. Okay. On fire. The Nats bullpen right now. I mean, thank God the Athletics are a thing. If they weren't, we would be getting roasted for having a historically terrible bullpen. Besides Finnegan and Harvey, everyone else is absolute dog shit.
I mean, Finnegan ain't good either.
No, I'm saying everyone else is absolute dog shit. Those guys are okay. Those guys are professional baseball pitchers. Okay?
Mason Thompson, I think, is – I don't even like Hunter Harvey.
He's lost it.
Yeah, okay,
he's absolutely fallen off the tracks. That guy leaks runs. Absolutely leaks runs. Oh, he's so bad.
Oh.
So bad. But yes,
25 years old, though. 25 years old, though. Maybe he's finding his way.
Not like we're winning the World Series this year. Might as well keep pitching him. Fuck it. All right, here's the deal. The Nats offense, after a pretty weak homestand, I'm not going to lie, not too much offense there. They're going to a hitter-friendly park.
By the way, I still have 10.5 at -105 on BetMGM. So,
do you actually?
Yeah, no doubt. It's right here.
Damn.
Yeah.
Hold on, I got to peep it myself. Let's take a look. Yeah, it looks like every other book has 10. Nice. Like, I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding. All 12 other books I use in Virginia, they all have 10. But we're going to use this one. Sounds good, guys. Let's keep moving. Let's keep grooving. Atlanta's offense cracked out. Nats bullpen terrible. This total high. We knew it was going to be high. Okay, Atlanta just scored a bazillion runs in that series against the Mets. And Schmidt, I can't even say his name. Smith Shawver.
I call him AJSS now. It's like a new nickname that I
kind
of like. Doesn't that sound good? AJSS.
That's too many. It's too many syllables. That's too many syllables. That's a lot going on.
Right,
that's too many things going on. Smith Shawver. That's way better to say. This kid's first MLB starts going against the Nats. We'll put up some runs, but I think it's Josiah who's going to be leaking oil here.
Totally agree.
Unbelievable for 2 months, but his last couple starts have been shaky. He's given up 3 home runs in those last 2 starts. He gave up 3 runs in the whole month of May combined, and we know that's his kryptonite. When he pitches bad, he gets burned by the long ball. Well, how did the Braves score? They hit nukes. They have over 100 home runs this season. Hitter-friendly park, totals on the move, like the splits. This game's soaring, and it might not be close. And if it is, down to the wire, and, there's only 8 or 9 runs in this game in the 7th or 8th, I'm not even going to be sweating yet. Because I know freaking Carl Edwards Jr. or Mason Thompson, or God forbid I see Chad Kuhl walk out of that bullpen, I'm turning my TV off. And I'm not going to be scared at all because they're going to give up runs late.
It might be 3-1 in the 8th, and Chad Kuhl comes in and you hit the over.
Yeah, that's the type of way the season's gone for the Nats bullpen recently. I mean, absolutely atrocious. Wheels falling off the wagon. They were good out of nowhere in the beginning of the season. I think it was luck. Now they're starting to release guys. It's ugly. It's bad. Braves are going to absolutely tear us up. They don't have great numbers and haven't seen great much. But the way he's looked recently, he looks a lot more like 2022 Josiah Gray than he does the much improved 2023 from earlier this year.
I got nothing for you. I was leaning this over too. I didn't end up playing it just because I wasn't sure what AJSS was, how he was going to perform today. But I texted you guys. I was like, if you guys see something with Nats bats, because I was like, the Braves are going to score off Josiah Gray in that bullpen.
Yeah.
So if you guys like Nats bats today, then take the over, and you ended up playing it. So I mean, I
100%.
know the line's been weirdly jumpy, but again, didn't it open at 9.5, or what did it
Yeah.
open at?
Open up 9.5 minus
So it still
110 both
moved
ways.
to 10. It's just like sometimes when a line gets so big, then you start to see some buyback. That doesn't necessarily mean that some sharp out there was like, oh, my model has it at 9.8.
No, but the late line movement has been key. Like even, I mean, I've been saying it for weeks. And last night, perfect example, the over in the Cubs game. There was a little bit of late pullback the last hour or two. Next thing you know, that was the worst bet of all time. So we'll see. Fingers crossed. I hope it continues to move up. Maybe it will. We still got 2 hours, right? Plenty of time.
Plenty of time.
Yeah, and get the Nats out of DC. They weren't hitting shit there. They got to go down to Truist and get involved in those home run derby type games.
I love watching offense at Truist. What do you have any prize picks entries that you want in the community? We're coming off a Patrick Corbin legacy piece of shit game.
I've been deep in the lab for lacrosse. Let me take a peek. No earned run squares allowed. I'll stick with the fantasy scores.
Why would we ever play those fucking squares ever again?
I don't know, man. I'm not going to lie.
We're sick puppies.
Well, yeah.
Like I want to take Austin Gomber over 3.5 earned runs.
Oh, you know what? You know who I want to take? It's the guy on the Padres with the specs who's up there and hasn't gotten a hit, Brandon Dixon.
Yep.
Brandon Dixon against left-handed pitching.
That's what I was going to pitch. Yep. Say no more. Brandon Dixon. Why does he have the same total base odds as freaking Juan Soto today? Because he kills lefties and he's hitting a home run today.
Yeah, well, he hasn't gotten a singular total base off a left-handed pitcher in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Brandon Dixon hasn't.
1.5.
Juiced on the under, but Prize Picks is hanging him up there. Yeah, I bet. He's hitting
juiced on the under?
Yeah, minus 125.
Let me see. Brandon Dixon.
Take a peep. I mean, the fact that they're hanging that up there on Prize Picks and he's juiced to the under.
I see. It did actually come down a little bit. When I saw it this morning, it was at minus 115 towards the over.
Is it at 125 still?
Yeah, it's minus 125, 105.
Let's go.
I'm taking it. I don't care.
Yeah, I know. He's hitting a nuke. It doesn't matter.
I wanted to stack like 7 Padres hitters in an entry.
I like that over.
All I'm saying is, you remember the Megalodon from last year?
Sure.
Do you know the last time a run projection on Ballpark Pal had a 7 was those Cardinals when they put up 16? That was the last time since August. Hasn't happened since.
You're telling me that Rockies game has the same
Padres
same
7.28 on the run projection. I went back, looked at the model on that August game. Cardinals were at 7.14.
Maybe Gomber's just that bad.
No, he's worse than Manoah or Syndergaard. He's the worst pitcher in Major League Baseball.
Yeah,
I think.
Well, if the Padres can't get going against him, I mean, quit the season.
Quit the season. Agreed.
Quit the season. Bring Soto back. We'll take him. We'll take him back.
Can you imagine they just do a reswap? All right, my friend. Back. Hey, anything else that you were leaning? I know you guys got squad rides, you got other plays, but you're going with this 3-unit nonsense.
Yeah, squad ride Dodgers. Like the Dodgers today.
Love it.
Yeah,
I'm on them
I think they win. All right.
Why not us? Good
Have
stuff.
a good weekend. Chat. Let's hit some bets tonight.
We'll talk to you. Pete, can we get a quick rundown on Oral Roberts' money line? Absolutely. So this is actually a perfect time because who we got next in queue? Javon. So Javon's coming up next. But the reason I took Oral Roberts, I have my college guys. We're all tapped into what's going on. And we got texted today, hey, Oregon's Friday guy is out. And Oregon's Friday guy is a very good starter. That's why they opened. What are they at now? I just actually want to see if that line is moved. BetMGM. Because if it hasn't moved, I'd be a little bit nervous because we bet that as soon as he was announced that he wasn't going to pitch. If it hasn't moved, I'd be a little scared, honestly, because that means that they factored it in already. And all right, it's down to plus 110, which isn't much, honestly. I'd actually want that to be better. But basically, Oral Roberts has been such a wagon for us. If you've been following my college baseball plays, like they win every day. Plus 115 out of them. So it's come down slightly, right? I think it should come down more. I think it should be closer to a pick 'em. Oregon is the better team than Oral Roberts. But when you're telling me that probably the best part of Oregon is their Friday guy, he's now out. Oral Roberts is going to give us a great starter tonight. Their bats have also been really hot. And that's something I was waiting for them to kind of start doing. Bats have been crazy. I know people on Oral Roberts, they love them to win tonight. As a dog, it's worth the price. I think it should be 110 across the board. I really do. I wonder if let me see where people are. I wonder where people are putting their money on this one. But yeah, I'm on Oral Roberts against Oregon. I like Duke earlier today. What a game. I didn't catch the end. I saw it was 5-4 against Virginia. What happened? Did Duke win? I want Virginia. Duke beat them. Oh, that's going to be a great series. Duke is good. But so is Virginia. TCU's beating Indiana State right now. Indiana State's got great pitching. You guys know our futures, though, right? Wake plus 1,900. I feel good about those. When are these games being shown on ESPN Plus? I don't know. Crazy ending. Duke robbed a home run. That's awesome. Is Ben not coming on? Ben gave me so much shit today for the Padres. And now he pitches the Padres or pitches the Rockies and then doesn't come on to talk about it. I mean, come on. Come on, Ben. Come on, Ben. You guys, I'll take you through a conversation today. I put in Padres minus 1.5 last night. Right? I put it in last night. 6 minutes later, Rockies are 15-3 over the last 18 games against the Padres at Coors Field. They were underdogs in every single one of those 18 games. Since 2017, Rockies are 35-18 against the Padres at Coors. I said, why would games in 2018 affect you, Darvish versus Austin Gomber? He said, because the Padres know the Rockies own them in Coors. All the players know it. Rockies are in a great spot after a slide, but I'm also not on the Rockies because I can't back Gomber. I said, we'll see. Also, the 15-3 stat is since 2021. It's honestly statistically improbable. I said 15-4 tomorrow. And then he didn't answer. Then I said, Ben, waiting on your Rockies ticket. He said, I can't bet Gomber. But I said, but the Rockies on the Padres, look at the value. And then he just gave me more value. I said, you got to bet the Padres then, or bet the Rockies. And then in the chat, he put Rockies minus 1.5 at plus 280 for 0.4 units. Is he here? Oh, Javon's here. Good. The milkman. What's going on, brother? How are you?
Doing great. Excited for today.
You should be. What do you think about Rockies reverse run line over the Pods?
Yeah, I ain't taking it. I think Gomber's getting rocked, which, hot take. I guess we all do, but not trying that one.
Yeah, no, that's probably a good idea. But you do have some plays, and we got to cook up a Prize Picks entry. And since you're last up, I kind of want to cook it up with you if you wouldn't mind.
Sounds good.
Let's do it.
Yeah, we can do that. But I'm actually disappointed because had someone in my entry who's not playing today, and the prop that I have, I am really, really excited and confident about. So we can throw that in the community entry, but kind of bummed about it being the 2-piece.
I know. Who was the player who got announced out?
Alec
Burleson. Yeah, I said it in the Discord. I was like, at least he didn't get sent down to the minors like Mike Broso.
Yeah, it feels a little better, but I know he's going to have a little pinch hit RBI single today or something crazy. He's getting something. But yeah, we can start with those plays and then circle back around.
Favorite play?
Yeah, I don't know what we have first up, whatever he wants to put up.
We got the Cincinnati St. Louis under, which is good because a lot of people have been asking about this, so I'm excited to hear you pitch it.
Yeah, so I do like this under. To be honest with you, I think this line stands out a little bit after, I know it was in Great American Ballpark, but after the offensive output that we've seen from the Reds and in that series, and obviously it has a lot to do with, the invigoration of their offense, but also how bad their starting pitching and bullpen has been. And I know Ben Lively has been relatively solid. I know it's definitely from all the advanced stats tell you that at some point he's going to turn into real Ben Lively, but he's been really solid, and I don't think today's the day. So for Ben Lively, when you look at a lot of his stuff, nothing jumps out of the page or jumps off the board at you, but
it's got a good slider.
That's what I was about to say. His slider has been extremely effective. 038 hitters are hitting off of it, and he's been really effective commanding it and locating it. And really, if you look at this Cardinals lineup, there's very few instances where somebody's in this lineup and has really good numbers against sliders. Arenado does, but if you look into him, their the expected numbers against the slider are very disappointing, and he's gone through very hot stretches and very cold stretches that make those numbers very deceiving from the start. And then like the next best hitter is like Jordan Walker, who obviously has a much smaller sample size than the rest of that lineup, and even Goldie has lower numbers than you would expect. So I expect Lively to just nibble at the corners here and kind of induce a lot of softer contact. And to be honest with you, that's the same that I expect from Jordan Montgomery. I expect him to be perfectly mid in this matchup, which I guess you could say doesn't excite you too much. I know you're talking about that, but doesn't excite you too much when you're talking about an 8 total. But this Reds offense, I don't love their spot today. You do talk about like they are in their better split against left-handed pitching, like you could say, and a lot of that has to do with them being able to platoon guys.
Funny enough, you want to hear? I think they're now with Ellie De La Cruz, because Ellie's problem in the minor leagues was his right-handed swing.
Yeah,
I think we're going to start to see those splits kind of reverse, because there's always new hitters in the lineup now.
That's exactly what I was about to say, because like their lineup with Ellie De La Cruz now, which I mean, I don't know if it's just because of him, but at the bottom it looks a little different, and I think it's going to kind of be that way going forward. So I don't think
Will Benson's going to play every day now. Like he hits righties better than lefties. Like at the top, you still got McLean and Newman in India, but then like it drops off a little bit after that.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, this Reds lineup, like a lot of the reason why I love them in that series against Gonsolin and Syndergaard is because, it's an exciting time with Ellie De La Cruz coming up. That lineup has been very aggressive. I'm not going to say it's all because of that, but they're young hitters, super aggressive on stuff in the zone, where Montgomery, he's just going to pound a sinker. They're going to pound it into the ground like they've done, with a lot of pitchers that profile similarly as of late, So I like his matchup today. I wouldn't say I love it, but I think it's enough for this to be a pretty, low and slow game.
No doubt about it. Was there any, my only last question about this, you talked a lot about the starting pitchers. Why not take the first 5? Not saying that you're wrong, just.
Yeah, well, I mean, first of all, the line standing out at 8 whenever something is like, I look into it after I see the line, like a play like this. So I'm just not overcomplicating it. Plus, I haven't had much success targeting first 5s, even when you're talking about the starting pitching. But I do think, I have enough confidence in the Reds bullpen and the Cardinals bullpen. Like, I think both of these offenses are going to be bad enough against whoever they throw out. Like, to be honest with you, it's not really a concern for me at this point, but going with it. Shout out the Frogs, 2-run bomb.
Shout out the Frogs against Indiana State's good pitching. What do you, I'm on Oral Roberts money line tonight against Oregon. What do you think?
I don't mind that. I don't mind. Who's Oregon throwing today?
Not their Friday guy.
I knew that. I didn't see who they were throwing.
I haven't seen anything of who they're throwing. And I'm like, if I get the Oral Roberts as a dog, then yeah. It's kind of square though, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. You can't really get like too sharp, too square with college.
Yeah. College baseball, like you just roll with who you like. Like I like Oral Roberts.
It's just dark.
That's why they're half unit plays for me. They're always.
Yeah. You and me both. I never am nuking college baseball. That's for sure.
It's just fun.
Yeah. All right. We can move on to the next play. Going with the over in the Rangers-Rays game. Probably.
I like this play.
Yeah, probably my favorite play out of the 3. Maybe 1B. We'll talk about the next one, but I think this is a really bad matchup for both of these pitchers. The obvious bad matchup and probably the offense that I'm relying on a little bit more would be the Rays, who we know kill lefties, 159 WRC plus, first in the league by a pretty wide margin. Also first in the league against lefties with isolated power, which we're talking about Andrew Heaney. The ceiling is all, through the roof there as far as isolated power and home runs. Not only that, but 258 as a team ISO against left-handed pitching, but when they are in the Trop, 313 at home, which
that's ungodly.
Ungodly, because I mean the next highest left-handed pitching at home is the Cardinals at 229. So the Rays have been absolutely ridiculous against left-handed pitching, hitting tanks in the Trop, and I think that continues. Against Andrew Heaney. You talk about Heaney, when he has his best starts, it's obviously because he has the off speed going and the strikeout stuff is really there. Rays have the 9th lowest K rate against left-handed pitching, which also is something that decreases as they go home in the Trop. So I think it's a really bad matchup for him. I think Yandy Diaz is going to send one to the moon, maybe 2. But him and Christian Bethancourt too, really good matchup. Wander's probably going to have 3 hits. I think it's a really good matchup across that lineup, but I don't like Glasnow's matchup either. I really don't, because you talk about him, the home run potential. I always joke that he's good for 2 or 3 solo shots a game, but he is, because hitters are allowed to sit on that dead red fastball, and the Rangers are a nightmare lineup to do that against, especially for
I think about a couple of these guys. It's Strider, it's DeGrom, it's Glasnow, and it's Cole. like when they're sending in fastballs at the top of the zone over and over and over again, all you need is to get the bat there, and that shit is flying. That's why some of these guys have dealt with home run problems in the past, and Glasnow was one of them.
Exactly. And, the Rangers, like, people haven't looked at this necessarily because it's hard to kind of gauge Glasnow because he's had, limited appearances because of injuries over the last couple of years. He's kind of evolved his arsenal, has developed a slutter, which he's thrown more in the last couple of years, as he likes to call it. But it's gotten really tough against right-handed pitching, for that reason. That was one of his, bugaboos coming up initially with the Rays. So he's kind of fixed that. He's been really tough against righties. So, like, other than Semien, I'm counting on a lot of lefties here. It's Corey Seager. It's Nate Lowe. It's, I guess you could throw Josh Jung in the righty conversation too. But, Jonah Heim's been really good. Bottom of that lineup too. Leody Taveras has been fantastic.
Ezekiel Duran, thanks a lot,
Yeah,
Yankees, for trading him for Joey Gallo. Like, we could use him.
I mean, throughout the lineup, like I think a lot of these guys can run into one. And obviously, we're talking about the back end of this game, 2 bullpens that don't scare anybody. Yeah. So I think you got plenty of potential for, to see a lot of home runs in this game early and often. But, if you need the back end of the bullpens to tuck you in, I think you're in a good position for it.
I love this pitch. It's a fantastic play. One more, right?
Yeah, probably the one that you don't like a little bit.
Huh.
Go with the Twins.
No, go ahead, pitch it because I'm interested in your pitch.
Yeah, so I was like in and out listening because I'm watching the TCU game here a little bit. So I heard you talking about the line a little bit. I think it's weird because the Twins, these are 2 teams very clearly going in opposite directions. I saw somebody comment that the Jays have won like 10 of 13. Twins have scored 6 runs in their last 5 games. The offense has been dormant, really beyond that stretch, and especially on the road. They haven't been scoring at all on the road, and the Jays have been nails in Toronto. So I know it's Sonny Gray versus Yusei Kikuchi, but Sonny Gray also has 1 win on the road, and it was the first week of the season against the Royals. He hasn't had one since. So not that he's been pitching necessarily poorly on the road, but he is in his worst split there. He did give up 10 hits to the Guardians in his last start, which, they're heating up a little bit as an offense, but it's still the Guardians at the end of the day, and 10 hits is a pretty embarrassing performance for Sonny Gray, I will say, even though he didn't give up many runs. I think it was 3. But I will say, I think Yusei Kikuchi should be at a bigger price here. I'm not going to lie to you. So I do think against this lineup too, which the Twins are not really good in any split particularly, but against lefties, they've been mid. And the one point you do find success, like you talked about Kikuchi, he gives up a lot of barrels. Like hard hit rate has been one of his issues. And sneakily, guess who's 6th in hard hit rate against lefties in the league?
Twins.
Minnesota Twins. And you know who that's been without too? Their guy who is a lefty specialist who's hitting 3rd today, which he has been kind of mid the season because he's been in and out of lineup in the minors, but he's back. And Kyle Garlick is ready for revenge.
Mr. Garlick? No, Buxton hurts.
No, Buxton certainly hurts, but I could really not care about that, to be honest with you. Anytime I bet on the Twins and Buxton's playing, he goes over 4Ks. So I'm cool with everybody else in the lineup. And yeah, Kikuchi himself also, as somebody is saying, has been much better at home as well. So I was expecting maybe minus 140 for it to stick there.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. So I guess that's where we differ. Because maybe I do like the Twins because I think this game should be closer to a pick'em. So based on that, I was like, oh, I think it's kind of weird that the Blue Jays are favored here because of a lot of what you said. So that's why I was like, is it weird that the Blue Jays are favored? But maybe it's one of those things where it's like, technically, I should be betting on the Twins because I see value. That's, I guess, where we just differ because you're like, I think the Blue Jays should be minus 140, so I think the line is weird. That's why I'm on the Twins. I'm like, I weirdly lean the Blue Jays because I think the Twins line is weird. But I think we're both aligned of this is a 50-50 game and you got the underdog.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah, I do think Sonny Gray too. I like his matchup too. Hard to hate a lot of Sonny Gray matchups, but any guy that is just so great. I talked about Ben Lively, how I kind of expect him to do a similar thing, but Sonny Gray, I expect him to nibble at the corners quite a bit. If he has good command of that off speed, Blue Jays are just going to pound a lot of balls right into the ground, which I think works perfectly for him there, and I think they can do that. So I like the matchup for the Bats. I think we could sneakily get a Twins offense wake-up game on the road, which has been very few and far in between. So I like the Twins.
Well, you got a great card. Let's craft our – okay, so this is your prize picks entry of, unfortunately, Burleson is not in the lineup.
Yeah.
So for the community entry, Ollie loves Tristan Casas over half a base. I like it too.
Yeah, I can certainly get down with that.
Brandon Dixon over 1.5 bases. That's what Crab said. Like, I love it too. I do.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that.
And Tyler Glass now over 4 hits, obviously.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
We need to find 2 more. I want to play Trent Grisham over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. He has actually been a lefty killer. He's in Coors. I think he goes Yardo today.
Yeah, it is a little weird that he's up there, lefty. I mean, I don't have a problem with it. My only just overwhelming, I don't want to say concern, but one of the things that I've been following is when I know the model loves it. I like it too. I'm certainly not fading them, but whenever a team has their first game in Coors and you can pretty much pick, not just the trend in general, but when you go to Prize Picks and you can pretty much pick out any single person in the lineup any way you want to play them, and you have that many options, it hasn't been going too well, which that's what the Giants were first game, where I think they came back and won at the end, but they didn't cover the run line, that -1.5, and a lot of those hitters didn't hit their props.
No, the Giants won that game 10-4. First game of the series? Yeah. First game.
Maybe. Oh, no. You know what? No. I know what it was. It was the first game that all those squares were up. That's what I'm talking about. Not first.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I was looking at that game too, and a lot of people told me they liked the over, and it ended up finishing 6-4.
Yeah.
That was not even close to that same kind of projection that we're seeing. But even in that first game where the Giants came into Coors, they won 10-4.
Yeah.
Which the squares weren't. So now, I mean, I think the Padres win by 70.
That's fine with me. I'm just telling you, just know what you're getting into. Possibly.
I know what I'm getting into.
Yeah.
That's why it's not a play of the year. I know it's the Padres, and I know that they can be shit storms. So it's definitely not a play of the year. So what else should we craft then? So we got Glass over. I still want to take Trent Grisham.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely not trying to talk you off.
Yeah,
just telling you how I viewed it there. But I don't know. Are there any specific other games that you're looking to target that you like runs, or any specific matchup?
Yeah. Who else? Brandon Dixon with just no face and 1.5 bases and hasn't had a base in 4 years is just I have to play that square.
Hilarious.
I want to play Ha-Seong Kim too.
Let me ask you how you feel. I don't know if anybody touched on this game because it's a scary one, but Royals game, Orioles.
You will not find me even breaking down the game. That I love Tyler Wells. So he's been kind of a model killer, a square feeder all year. That's my issue with that game because I mean, there's no way I'm taking the Royals. People talk themselves into the Royals every day, and how's that?
I'm one of them sometimes. I will never deny that.
I've talked myself into it too, and I've almost donated.
I was in I would just think the Orioles, earlier when I was looking at these games, I thought the Orioles were just going to win by 60. Then I heard probably, I would say 3 to 4 of the most atrocious sell jobs I've ever heard about a baseball game ever on the Orioles, including somebody I think rocking the jersey coming on and said it was a guaranteed wager.
Yeah, I heard that. I mean, what a moron.
Yes, I mean that made me look at the Royals, not necessarily in the game, but maybe some squares. But that was just a thought.
What else did I want to play today? Pitcher. Let's look at pitcher fantasy score. Who do we think is going to shove? I mean, I do kind of think that. I mean, I took the under in D-backs Tigers. It's down from 8.5 to 8. I kind of like Merrill Kelly's fantasy score. What do you think about that one?
I got no problems. Honestly, Lorenzen seems awfully low for that game.
I know.
So somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to do it.
We got to take Lorenzen's under?
No, I was just saying. I mean, obviously you're looking for the at 35.5. That's the key when I look at it. Between 34 and 37 is the key. I want a win and a quality start badly line, especially when you're not a 7-8K guy.
How about let's do this? Let's just roll with these 4. This is the 4-piece entry. Costas over half a base. Brandon Dixon over 1.5 bases. Glasnow over 4 hits, and Trent Grisham over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. I'm locking that in.
That sounds surgical.
That does sound good. Tyler Glass now over 4 hits. It's so low. It's so funny. It's so disrespectful. You were so right. Dixon, he's going to score a run and not go over 1.5 bases. Grisham,
Trent,
and Casas.
They need to put up a Yandy 2 home run square. Take the over. Sprinkle that over.
Should we take Yanni in this?
I mean, I have him in something. Absolutely.
Okay, that convinced me. Do we take run, fantasy score, or bases?
He has a run up now.
Is that too weird?
That might be, honestly.
All right, never mind. We're getting cold feet. Give
Wait
me
on the
Dixon, Glass now, Grisham, Casas. My free 4-pick entry is being applied.
Ooh,
hell yeah! Place
Free.
entry. Oh, but it's such a minimum. Whatever. I got a free entry. Free entry, ladies and gentlemen, on Prize Picks. Yeah. Could you show the people? I got a free 4-piece, ladies and gentlemen. This is the free 4-piece on Prize Picks. Javon, thank you for helping us cook up. Producer Cohen's got to catch a train.
There you go.
Look at that shit.
Yes. Beautiful.
Bang. Free entry. Remember to use code JustBaseball when you download Prize Picks. Full instant deposit match up to $100. Ladies and gentlemen, that'll do it for the end of the stream. Javon, thanks for helping us craft. Hopefully everybody enjoyed. Let's bring home some winners. Only thing left to say is we have to remember, it's not gambling advice, people. Peace out.